Okay, good evening, everyone. We're just finished session number 4.
We did.
Of Andy Stanley's series on balanced financial integrity, financial planning, financial stability. What a great series, really.
It's actually a very good series.
2 more weeks left, but first we got to get through Sunday. And Pastor Hans, you're preaching Sunday?
I am preaching on going. So
Yeah.
you have to come see what that's about.
Yeah. And I'll be enjoying the Super Bowl with my special Eagles t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt. I got to tell you, a lot of haters out there.
Yeah, that's true.
I would know.
I would be one of them.
I'm a Patriots fan, so I would know all about hate.
But they're representing the Northeast. There are some good Christians on the team.
There's Christians on every team.
I know, but so anyways.
Let's be spiritual. Let's talk about something meaningful.
Well, the little family feud, before we get into tonight's topic, the
real
little family feud is, my wife will be rooting for the Eagles because we live here, but her family's from Missouri, so they're going to be rooting for Kansas City.
The Chiefs.
So
I'm rooting for the Chiefs to oppose the Eagles.
Here, he can oppose whoever he wants to, but please know this. There's 33 references in the Bible concerning Eagles. I don't think there's any for Chiefs.
There's a chief tax collector in the Bible, and that's about it.
And there's the chief high priest.
And the chief high priest.
So these are great people.
Yeah,
okay?
Fantastic people, yes.
So anyways, on to tonight's lesson.
Yes.
And Andy talked about extra money, and I asked, what do we call that in financial terms?
Yeah, what?
Discretionary funds.
Right.
Discretionary funds.
I said surplus,
And
but
that's what I
that's a
would
better.
Yeah.
That's a,
But everybody's got extra money. We don't feel like we do. And where do we see this extra money suddenly materialize? At the Starbucks line, okay, waiting for your $8 frou-frou coffee drink.
it's true.
Where else? Movies, maybe
Yeah,
theaters.
movies,
Entertainment in general, just...
Yeah, you know what Dave Ramsey said? I saw this in a YouTube video where he was commenting about somebody going out to eat a lot, and he said eating out is not nutrition. He said eating out is entertainment. If you want nutrition,
yes.
make a good home cooked meal.
Right.
In my budget, actually eating out is under entertainment.
Under entertainment.
Yeah.
So let's keep things in perspective. And of course, we as Americans, we're always complaining. We just don't have enough, and we can't have all the fun we want to have. But compared to the rest of the world, it's all about perspective.
Yeah, we're living like kings.
Yeah.
The reality is.
Yeah,
Right.
truth is.
Right.
And I know I also mentioned tonight how the first house we bought was a colonial, early 1800s, and there wasn't a closet in the house. None, 0 closets downstairs or upstairs, because in the early 1800s, people only had maybe 2 sets of clothes.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So, and now people have walk-in closets, which is basically a room for your clothes.
I would actually, if I only had 2 sets of clothes, I would like that.
It's easy.
It would be so easy to, Sunday, I wear this. The other days I wear that. Wouldn't that be amazing?
And up until like the last 5 or 6 years, I only had 2 pair of shoes. I had brown and black. And now I have like different color sneakers.
You got green.
You can't see this on camera,
got
but
green
I have Kelly green velvet sneakers on
Velvet
tonight
sneakers.
because of the Eagles game on Sunday morning.
Yeah. He looks amazing. If you could see it. He looks like he's ready. He's in a rock band. That's what he looks like.
Well, this is going nowhere tonight. Folks, I hope you're enjoying this session.
An elf rock band.
An elf rock
Christmas elf rock band.
So, and one of the scriptures, he pointed us tonight, getting back to the topic,
Yes.
he pointed us to Luke chapter 12. He talks about the rich man who suddenly has this great crop and says, what am I going to do? I need to store everything away. I need to build new barns, tear down my old barns, build new ones. And it's interesting, Jesus gave that parable. Wasn't just building new barns, it was tearing down the old ones to build new ones.
Yeah.
And ultimately, Jesus had to say, hey, your life doesn't consist of all these possessions.
Right. And I
Life
think
is more than that.
That was the big takeaway, I think, from tonight.
Yeah.
Is that our wealth doesn't define us. And when it does, what do you talk about? The financial crash. And you had these rich people who, now what are they going to do? They lost everything. So
It's true. And he wasn't foolish because he had a good crop.
Yeah.
He wasn't foolish because he had a lot. He was foolish because he didn't know what to do with his extra.
Yeah.
And
so what should we do with our extra? We can just cut to the chase.
yeah, we need to consider, if I have extra, maybe somebody else needs it. Maybe
Yeah.
God needs to use it for something.
Yeah.
It's not just because we have extra doesn't mean it's for us.
Yeah.
And that was the crux. The guy was foolish because he didn't know what to do with the extra, and God said at the end of those verses it says that when you're not rich towards God, you're a fool. And so.
Yeah, I mean the core theme of the message from him tonight was generosity.
Right.
Yeah, don't be afraid to give, because when you do give, it's not just it's giving in the sense of an investment. You can't lose something you've given away.
Yeah.
And
really
so
good.
when we try to hold on, and there's tons of scriptures. That one I love out of Proverbs. It's the man who gives freely. He scatters freely. It comes back to him.
Yeah.
But the one who tries to hold on comes to poverty. So being miserly, being greedy, and Andy was very, very passionate tonight.
He called people out.
Yeah, what was this? He said basically everybody's greedy, but what was that phrase?
Yeah, he said you can't see greed in the mirror very well.
Well,
Wow.
I mean that one, like, wow.
Yeah, it's hard to see greed.
And he does this thing where he's prying his hand because that's how we hold on to that money,
Yeah.
and we have to pry it open sometimes. So.
Yeah.
I mean, he called out politicians, he called out Christians
Yeah.
for just being greedy and not
Yeah.
being generous.
He said Americans give 2% of their income to philanthropy,
Yeah.
Charitable causes.
Yeah.
Only 2%. And of course, he didn't talk about tithing, but the word tithe means tenth. That's supposed to be the biblical basis
Yeah.
where we start.
Yeah.
And he says most Americans give 2%.
Yeah. And one of the things he said, God's not interested in all your numbers. He's, he talks in percentages.
Right.
So just because you gave $100 or $1,000,
Yeah.
it's not an amount.
Right.
It's a percentage. It's equal sacrifice. So.
And probably be scary to see what percentage that 100 or 1,000 was
Yeah.
comparatively.
Yeah, for some people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And again, large corporations do that a lot, where you'll see a TV show and they're giving a donation, or might be I've seen a news clip recently where some company, it's a huge corporation, multinational, and they gave a check for $10,000.
Yeah, and you're like, really?
Yeah, for a feeding program in Detroit.
That would be like you and I buying like a Happy Meal.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
yeah.
really?
$10,000? That doesn't go very far
Yeah.
for a feeding program.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic.
Yeah. But again, they're holding the big check that's all pre-printed and it looks so impressive. It should have been 100,000,
Right.
Yeah.
and even that wouldn't be a whole lot for a big corporation.
But that was his challenge too tonight, was he's daring people to pick a percentage
Yeah.
and stick to it. And
Yeah.
It was interesting though that he didn't give a percentage,
no,
because biblically I think we could go with
He
10.
did talk about 10.
He
the
did.
tithe,
Mhm.
but he did talk about it. He just didn't
I
say.
was there. I didn't get it.
Yeah. The wheels were turning.
Yeah, you're always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
and I think he talked about that. Probably, I think in one of my sessions, he talked about that he grew up
Yeah.
learning that you
Yeah.
gave a tenth to the church, and he loved that. And for myself, I think I was talking about this probably in one of my sessions, was when it comes to budget or whatever, I have to put that at the top. I don't want to, whether it's just me, I don't want to put it down here. I want it right at the top, because I'm reminded that is my obligation, and that might even not be the right word. And I don't want to give just because that's the number and I'm just going to keep giving it. I
Yeah.
want it to be something thought out and planned. So
Yeah. Well,
Powerful night.
2 more sessions, and hope to see you this Sunday, and of course next Wednesday night for session number 5.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Go Eagles.